And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio. If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We are recording now live till 5, and then we'll post it up on YouTube so you can come by later and do a call letter search for KC9VKV. That's Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, and that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page, where we're now featuring about 1,000 QSO-VLOG Airchecks. Also this afternoon, we're running 4 Internet SDR receivers monitoring Rochester, New York, Milford, Pennsylvania, Atlanta, Georgia, and Arlington, Virginia, trying to get a better copy on our 100-watt friends. Now, the audio from these 4 SDR receivers comes up on a 6th-position rotary selector. Also on this selector is our local receiver audio. And today, our local receiver is running 2 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed north and south, the other east and west. The north and south mag loop can be rotated. They are selected by using a 3-position rotary selector. Position 3 of this selector is a co-phase option that many times is 3 to 4 dB hotter than mag loop 1 or 2 by themselves. We do use a lot of rotary selectors in our shack, mainly because there's nothing faster than a rotary switch for comparing multiple signals. Also today, we'll be running what we call our Internet SDR indicator, our input source indicator. So when we switch from an Internet SDR to the FT990, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube QSO-VLOG video. Well, those are our working conditions. How about yours? This is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. And now let's check in and see if Charlie K1GZL is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy? Yes. KC9VKV, K1GZL. Well, we've had rain today. It started out as snow just before 6 o'clock this morning. Didn't amount to more than about 0.3 of an inch, and then it's been raining all day, and right now it's coming to an end for a while. And it's 36 degrees. That's our high so far. But we still have nearly 2 feet of snow on the ground. Unfortunately, my tape recorder has acted up. That is out of service at the present. But you're coming in 10 to 15 over 9 direct. Very, very clear signal. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Well, Charlie, just a question. Are all of your antennas surviving?
Antennas surviving? Yeah, so far. We had winds this morning, peaking at least 50 miles per hour. Blew stuff and chairs all over the place. And what a mess. Chairs on the porch were blown. Oh, what a mess. It was terrible winds, right out of the south side. But the diameter is very up, very low. So the antennas seem to have survived so far. But I think the worst of it is over, except tonight it will be getting much, much colder. So I'll turn it right on back to you. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Well, I just wonder, sometimes we have some heavy winds, but not too often. How often do you get those 50-mile-an-hour breezes?
50 miles
mile-an-hour breezes?
Oh, I'd say probably 2 or 3 times a month. But after all, we're up here at just over 2,000 feet above sea level, and almost a third of the height of Mount Washington, and that has generally the highest wind average in the world. Go ahead.
Oh, roger that. Well, even though your recorder may be on the fritz, have you still been making contact down in Australia?
Contact down in Australia?
Oh yeah. I had a nice chat with Ian, VK3MO, this morning, and he has got a problem, and he's running barefoot, but still, he was 15 to 25 over 9, 25 over 9. He has stacked rhombics, which of course help him quite a bit. And in my case, I'm not aimed at Australia on 40 meters. I'm aimed 30 degrees off of the Melbourne area where Ian is located. But the path is open, I'd say 95+% of the time in the year, and it's been going right through the winter, very, very consistent in the early morning down into Australia. Go ahead, all the South Pacific.
Roger, Charlie. Now, I know you're 30 degrees off of ideal working Australia. Do you have any plans on maybe reorienting your antenna more to the precise direction that you need to be?
I wish I could. See, what I've got is 3 large utility type poles lined up, one behind the other, and of course I have the 75 meter antenna, and I've got the 40 meter antenna on that. So I'd have to move those poles, and that would be a little bit impossible. So I'm stuck with that direction. However, on 20, that's a different, a different section. I have the 4-element diamond-shaped wire quad. That is broadside much further north, just about over far southern California, between Los Angeles and San Diego, and that is much closer to Australia. So as far as Melbourne goes, Melbourne would only be 5 degrees off the side. But unfortunately, in the early morning, 20 meters is not very consistent, not like it was 10 years ago when the sunspot cycle was higher, and they used to blast him in the early morning on 20, but that's a rare event these days until we get higher up on the sunspot cycle, Jim.
Roger that. Now, which is the front way to Australia, and which is the back way?
Well, all right. From here to Melbourne, Australia would be about 275 degrees, and the back way would be directly east, maybe a speck south-southeast, and that would slam me right into the mountain behind me, right into the mountain. That's, of course, what they call the long path all the way around the world, a little bit, those 5,000 miles further to go on the long path. So due to the way the terrain is here, I'm pretty well cut off to the east with the small mountain I'm on. So I take advantage of firing off of the mountain here, to get to the southwest and to the west, Jim. I've got to do it. It's just the way the terrain is set up.
Roger, gosh, we had a little traffic in there. Sorry, the frequency is in use. The frequency is in use. Well, Charlie, thanks for reporting today. As always, we're going to move along, and we thank you very much. You stay warm up that way, Roger.
Well, we'll try. It looks like Sunday, if we're lucky, we'll get up to 20 degrees. Then later next week, we'll head right back up over 40. The normal high now is 20 degrees Fahrenheit. The normal low temperature is about 15, 16 degrees. 15, 16 degrees. So spring is coming, but March has been very warm on the average compared to normal, with a couple of exceptions when it got brutally cold. Okay, Jim, the very best. Cheers. And as they say down under, and we'll catch you hopefully next week. K1TZL, always a pleasure.
Roger, Charlie. 3Z-Way, sir. You have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend coming up. Just a reminder, this is the Friday Afternoon QSO-VLOG Network. My name is Jim, KC9VKV, and I'm better known in some circles as Dr. VKV. And we are recording now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, and that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page, where we're currently featuring about 1,000 recorded QSO-VLOG entities, but you'll be looking for one in particular. Today's QSO-VLOG is entitled My Group Aircheck 31330. My Group Aircheck 31330. This is a KC9VKV listening.
This is a KC9VKV listening.
Number 3, Echo Alpha Romeo.
There's a station number 3. You got to come back with a call sign on that.
Station number 3. You got to come back with a call sign on that.
Victor Alpha, number 3. Victor Alpha, number 3. Echo Alpha Romeo.
We have some traffic. Sorry, the frequency is in use. The frequency is in use. This is KC9VKV. VA3EAR, what's the name there?
VA3EAR, what's the name there?
Hello, Jim. This is Victor Alpha, number 3. Echo Alpha Romeo. That's Alpha here. And the handle is Kevin, Kilo Echo Victor, India, November, Kevin, 100 watts, London, Ontario, QSL?
Roger that. And what radio, Kevin, are you running?
Roger that. And what radio, Kevin, are you running?
Presently, I just did some modification. I put an INRAD filter into this. It's a Kenwood 2000, the Kenwood 2000, over.
Oh, man, of 5 pins, I get the one that doesn't write. What is the luck on that? All right, Kenwood 2000, is that a Roger?
All right, Kenwood 2000, is that a Roger?
Kenwood 2000, 12000, 2000, over.
Roger that. And what is your antenna situation?
Roger that. And what is your antenna situation?
Antenna situation right now is a nice little stealth in the attic. In the attic only, it's an Alpha Delta CC sitting in the attic, zigzagged, over.
Wow, one of the better in the attic antennas I've heard. Usually they're there, but not too well. And but yours, I'm copying you on the Milford PA SDR, and you're about 12 over on Milford, Roger.
You're about 12 over on Milford, Roger.
Very good. I just you're about 10 to 12 over F9 on my end here, and I do have some noise. So I am close to other homes, and so I do have some man-made noise here. And we'll say hello to you and Charlie that was in there also, and anybody else that's listening along. Thank you very much for the group, and we'll chat later. Oh, one last thing: is it Victor Kilo Victor? Is that the call? Victor Kilo Victor?
Roger that. Kilo, Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo, Victor. Roger?
Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo, Victor. Roger?
Okay, QSL, thank you very much for letting me in. I know that I've only got 100 watts running here, and I do have some bigger radios, bigger rigs, but I just wanted to try this one here because I did an INRAD filter roofing filter mod on it, so I just wanted to try it out, and it seems to work really nice too. So thank you very much, and it's the last serial number, so that's nice too on the old Kenwood. Anyway, we'll talk to you later. Thank you very much, and we'll say hi, hello to others that are. I want to go and your president Trump is talking right now live on the TV, so I want to go to that. Over.
Roger, Kevin. Well, thank you very much for checking in. Your audio is about 3 dB dynamic range, which means your average percent of peak modulation is running between 80 and 85%. The frequency response curve on your audio is very nice. Not a bunch in the top end, but very articulated and easily understood. So 3 is Kevin, and we'll catch you later. If you want to hear your audio, of course, go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. That will take you to our QSO-VLOG page, and you'll be looking for my group Aircheck 31320. My group Aircheck 31320. Roger?
My group Aircheck 31320. Roger?
Roger on 31320. Thank you very much, and you have a great day, and be safe. And we'll listen along to all your other contacts. This is Victor Alpha number 3, Echo Alpha Romeo, back to KC9, Victor Kilo Victor.
Roger, Roger, and stay warm up there in Canada. And today we're running our ISI. We screwed that up on the intro. Our input source indicator. This baby keeps tabs on all of our input source selections. So when I switch to the 990, it shows it. And if I'm copying the Rochester SDR at the moment, it will show that too. You watch the ISI work on the QSO-VLOG net video recording. You just go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, and that would take you to our QSO-VLOG page, and then look for today's Aircheck 31320. This is KC9VKV listening.
This is KC9VKV listening.
VA3DLO.
VA3, now if I could just write that as I'm saying it, VA3DMO, is that a Roger?
DMO, is that a Roger?
QSL 2525 watts, 25 watts, over.
Roger, 25 watts. What part of Canada are you in?
What part of Canada are you in?
VA3DLO 25 watts on solar, over.
Roger, I was copying you on 20. You were saying you were running 25 watts. Is that a Roger?
You were saying you were running 25 watts. Is that a Roger?
QSL 25 watts, 25 on solar, over.
Oh, Roger, on solar. Well, you are coming along there. That's the hard way to do it, Roger.
Coming along there. That's the hard way to do it, Roger.
Yeah, QSL, just testing out this system in case all else fails. Testing out this system. My rig here is a Yaesu XT950 with a desktop mic with a Heil mic cable. The antenna is a brand new G5RV put up 2 days ago, about 25 feet. A G5RV, 25 feet, over.
Roger, now which way happens to be the orientation of that antenna?
Happens to be the orientation of that antenna.
Yeah, but Canada, is that, which way is that facing? North and south or east and west? Or what geography is it running, Roger?
What geography is it running, Roger?
My antenna is running west. The one side's running west, and the other side's running southwest, over.
Oh, Roger that. I was trying to figure out why it's sounding so good. I mean, it's just, for 25 watts, you're even comparable to some folks down in the woods running 400s. So you're doing about, looks to be 10 over at the Milford PA SDR, Roger?
At the Milford PA SDR, Roger?
Roger. Before I let you go, what is your QTH? I'm trying to test my signal, how far I can get it on 25. Here, Ontario, Canada, right next to Detroit, Michigan, over.
Roger, Roger. Now I just, I've got a wealth of inputs to select from as far as receive situations. I just went to we're near Louisville, Kentucky. We're just across the Ohio River from Louisville, Kentucky. And I just went to my local antenna, which is a no SWR dipole antenna. And I did not have a copy on you, but I did have you at 10 over on the Milford PASDR. Roger?
10 over on the Milford PASDR. Roger?
Roger, Roger. I'm also on YouTube. You can look up my call sign, VA3DLO on YouTube. I'm checking your YouTube videos. I think I subscribed to your YouTube channel. Over.
Roger, your call is a VA3DLO?
Your call is a VA3DLO?
QSL, VA3DLO, QSL. Roger?
Roger, Roger. And what's the name there?
Roger, Roger. What's the name there?
Name's Don, Delta Oscar November. Over.
Roger, Don. Well, you're doing an unbelievable job for 25 watts. You're really sounding good. And your EQ is nice and cutty. No problems there. And I'm just figuring your dynamic range is somewhere around 3 dB. It looks pretty fat. Roger?
Somewhere around 3 dB. It looks pretty fat. Roger?
Yeah, Roger, Roger. 3, maybe 3.5 dB. It's around 3 or 3.5. Over.
Roger. Now this is not bandpass. This is has to do with how fat your specific audio is, Roger. If you consider that an unprocessed voice has a 10 dB dynamic range, well, we want to fatten that up for broadcast. So by the use of our compressor, I usually suggest running the compressor at about a 3, a token amount, but it does exactly what it's supposed to do. And if you get higher than a 3, you start getting suck up between words and listening to the wife beat the kids in the back room, So we don't want to do that. So a 3 on that compressor does ideal, and then run the ALC by way of adjusting the mic gain until the AOC is reading mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
The AOC is reading mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
Yeah, Roger, Roger. I'm also running a desktop microphone, and a 60 ohm mic. It's an MXL. That's MXL BCD1. It's a dynamic mic. So I'm driving the radio a little bit. Over.
Yeah, Roger. You could use just a tad more top-end EQ. You could use just maybe a couple of clicks more treble EQ or high top end boost, about 2 dB, 2 clicks from where you are. Roger?
About 2 dB, 2 clicks from where you are. Roger?
Yeah, Roger. I turned my microphone gain up from a 27 to a 29. How do you copy now? Mic gain up to about 29.
It sounds pushed. I think you were perfect right where you were, Roger.
Pushed. I think you were perfect right where you were, Roger.
Yeah, Don, do you still have a copy, sir?
Yeah, Don, do you still have a copy, sir?
Roger, Roger. You're fading a bit. Fading. QST, over.
Roger. All right, let me say 3s, Don. I appreciate the check-in there. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. We're on the air Friday afternoons between 3:30 and 5, recording all the time. And if you want to hear what your radio sounds like, if you go to YouTube within the next couple of days and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. And on that page, right now we're running 1,000 recorded QSO-VLOGs, but you'll be looking for one in specific, and that would be entitled My Group Aircheck 31330. My Group Aircheck 31330, Roger.
My Group Aircheck 31330, Roger.
Roger, Roger. You can also check out me on YouTube, VA3DLO. I've already subscribed to you. I've seen a few of those microphone check videos. They're pretty good. I'll say 73s and let you get on making some more QSOs. This is VA3DLO. Over.
Roger, Roger, Don 3's that way, sir. Have a good afternoon, a great weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give us a shout.
If you've got a radio you want to check out, give us a shout.
Kilo for India Golf Kilo. Kilo for India Golf Kilo.
Kilo for, let me get this down, Kilo for India, what was the rest?
For India, what was the rest?
Kilo for India Golf Kilo.
Golf Kilo, roger. And what's the name there, sir?
Golf Kilo, roger. And what's the name there, sir?
The handle is Don, Delta Oscar November, located in South Carolina.
Roger, Don. Let me get that down in South Carolina. And what radio are you running today?
And what radio are you running today?
Right now I'm on the Kenwood TS530, TS590 Sierra Golf.
Oh, roger. Is that at 100 watts?
Roger. Is that at 100 watts?
That is affirmative. 100 watts into a dipole oriented about north and south. I've got another antenna I can switch over to and if anything better.
Roger. I'm copying you great on the Rochester SDR. I do not have you at all on my local antenna, but I do copy you very fine on the Rochester SDR. Roger.
Very fine on the Rochester SDR. Roger.
Yeah, Roger, real good. You're 5 and 9 here. Really nice signal. And I do appreciate the signal report.
Roger, Don. Well, if you want to hear what your radio sounds like, if you go to YouTube and do the call letter search for KC9VKV, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page, and you'll be looking for, on that QSO-VLOG page, you will be looking for a QSO entitled My Group Aircheck 31330. My Group Aircheck 31330. Roger.
Group Aircheck 31330. Roger.
Roger. Thank you much.
Roger, Don. 3 set ways, sir. Have a great afternoon. Thanks for checking in. If you get a chance, join us next Friday, where we'll be doing the same thing, recording live from 3:30 till 5. And we wish you a great weekend. Beautiful weekend coming up, but of course, with the situation on the coronavirus situation, so you just wonder what's going on. Maybe this is time to try to bring you up to date. Here's the latest on the outbreak. After weeks of resisting mounting pressure from scientists, politicians, and others, the World Health Organization in Geneva, Switzerland, has decided to describe the coronavirus outbreak as a pandemic. The declaration comes after a 13-fold rise in the number of cases outside of China in the past 2 weeks and a trebling of countries affected, but does not change WHO's strategy for tackling the spreading virus. And you get this next page here. The WHO has been assessing this outbreak around the clock, and they're deeply concerned both by the alarming levels of the spread and the severity, and by the alarming levels of inaction. Describing the situation as a pandemic does not change WHO's assessment of the threat posed by this coronavirus. It doesn't change what WHO is doing, and it doesn't change what countries should be doing. Pandemic is not a word to use lightly or carelessly. It is a word that, if misused, can cause unreasonable fear or unjustified acceptance that the fight is over, leading to unnecessary suffering and death. Why does the coronavirus spread so easily between people? Many scientists have been calling for the change in language for weeks after large outbreaks were detected in South Korea, Iran, and Italy. At the time, some researchers suggested that countries would soon move from efforts that involve containing as many new cases as possible to social distancing measures, such as school closures that do not rely on knowing who is infected with the virus and who is not. And locally, our school system has been closed, I think, now for the next 3 weeks. The virus has now been found in more than 100 countries. It has infected some 120,000 people, killing more than 4,000 of them. Several nations have closed schools in a bid to stop the virus, and Italy has entered an unprecedented countrywide lockdown. This is not just a public health crisis, it is a crisis that will touch every sector. So every sector and every individual must be involved in the fight. So let's do our best. And one of the greatest things you can do is just wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Don't touch your face, your eyes, your lips with your hands, and wash your hands again. That's about all I can say, man. It's just, it's one of those things, and it's not, it's going to probably get worse before it gets better. And so let's all do our part. This is KC9VKV, the QSO-VLOG net. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
November 3.
There was a November 3 out there. November 3 station, come back with your call sign.
Yes, Jim, this is November 3, Juliet Tango November, Larry. In Leonardtown, Maryland.
Roger, Larry. Now, you're going to have to try your call sign one more time. Roger?
November 3, Juliet Tango November.
Roger, Larry. Now, what radio are you running, sir?
I'm on one of the Yaesu FT991 Alphas and running Heil HM12 mic.
Roger. Well, we have a tuned-up procedure you might want to check out and see if you would be interested. It starts with bringing the compressor online at about a 3 out of 10. A mere token amount of compression, but it does exactly what it should do at that level. So it would be engage your compressor at a 3, Roger?
Yeah, I gotta find it here in the menu. I think it's set for 10. I'm not quite sure. And these menu drills. Yeah, set for 10 processor. Hold on.
Hey, Larry?
All right, there's, I turned it down from a 10 to a 3 in the processor.
Larry, do you have a copy?
Again, condition faded red out. You just about disappeared.
Roger, I've got you now on the Rochester SDR. I do have you on the Rochester SDR. Do you have a copy on me now?
The Rochester SDR. Do you have a copy on me now?
Hello, paging Larry. This is KC9VKV.
Larry, this is KC9VKV.
Yeah, Jim, condition changed. Just about lost. We just went right down the noise level.
Roger, Larry. Okay, well, let's try this later. Let's try it later when we have better conditions. Roger?
Later when we have better conditions. Roger?
Roger, on that 73, thanks for taking the call. M3JPN.
This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, and my Arlington, Virginia SDR just went down, and so I'm going to have to try to bring that back up again. That one usually stays up. Don't know exactly. Oh, well, it's a different frequency. All right. Anyway, this is KC9VKV, the QSO-VLOG net. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
I have now only 2 SDRs that are working, Rochester, New York, and I guess Arlington, Virginia is back up, but it looks like it may be the wrong frequency. I don't know why that does that. Excuse me, folks, but this will only take a second, which sounds like famous last words. All right, come on, folks. I need the keyboard. Thank you very much. And then I need some numbers. 88. I think that's got it. Let me see if I've got Arlington here. Hello, check.
If I've got Arlington here. Hello, check.
Well, I do have Arlington. All right, so this is KC9VKV, the QSO-VLOG net. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
A radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
India, Quebec, Fox.
There was an India, Quebec, Foxtrot. Is that a Roger?
India, Quebec, Foxtrot. Is that a Roger?
Roger, Kilo, Charlie 8, India, Quebec, Foxtrot, Rod from Sterling Heights, Michigan.
Roger that. And what's the name there?
Roger that. And what's the name there?
The name was Ron, Romeo, Oscar, November.
That's Don. Is that a Roger?
That's Don. Is that a Roger?
Ron, Romeo, Oscar, November.
How quickly we changed Don to Ron. Hello, Ron. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, Ron. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay. I was wondering how well you're picking me up there. I'm not sure where exactly you're located, but I'm in Sterling Heights, Michigan, just north of Detroit. I'm not sure how well I'm sounding to you, but I figured I'd give you a shout and find out. Over.
Roger, we are located near Louisville, Kentucky. We're just across the Ohio River, right at Louisville. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River at Louisville. Roger?
The Ohio River at Louisville. Roger?
Roger that. KC9, Victor, Kilo, Victor. This is KC9VKV. You're coming in about 5 feet or so. You're in Sterling Heights. Not a bad signal, actually. I'm running just under legal limit, probably about 1.4 kilowatts. It varies back and forth depending upon how the amplifier puts it. They're running a ICOM 7610 with a expert 1.5 FA amplifier. At any rate, solid amp. How well am I coming in there? Over.
Well, now, I just got the Milford PA SDR up, and you're tearing that sucker up. You're about 40 over on the Milford PA, Roger?
On the Milford PA, Roger?
Milford, what location, over?
Milford, Pennsylvania. I'm not sure exactly where that is, but you might consult your local map. Milford, PA, Roger?
Milford, PA, Roger?
Roger that. KC9VKV, this is KC8IQF. Yeah, you're coming in nicely here. Not bad at all. At times you're 5'9", and at times you're 5'8". There's a lot of QSV out there, and I think it has to do with a lot of wind. We got heavy winds here, and my antenna's blowing back and forth something mad here, and we probably got 45-mile-an-hour winds here right now. At any rate, good to make your acquaintance, and good that things are coming through okay. I was a little worried because I installed a new compression mic there and put in phantom power and everything else, and I wanted to make sure everything was working. Over.
Roger, now, give me your call sign one more time now.
Give me your call sign one more time now.
Kilo, Charlie 8, India, Quebec, Foxtrot.
Roger. Now, I want you to do me a favor, Ron. I want you to key your mic for 3 seconds and not say a word, all right? Just key your mic silent for 3 seconds, and then I'll be back to you.
Then I'll be back to you.
Ron, well, you know, the thing is, I think you might be exceeding the speed limit on that compressor, because I was getting a 0 level. On a dead key, a 0 level, which is the same as your voice level. So, you know, and you can see your RF level just almost the same output as when you're talking. So what you want to do is kind of dial that compressor back. You know, the thing is, you just, you know, a little bit of overkill there. What we usually suggest is about a 3 out of 10. 30 out of 100, about a third of the capabilities of the compressor will do nicely. Anything past that, and you start getting a suck up, and the more past the 3 you are, the worse the suck up is. Roger?
The worse the suck up is. Roger?
Roger, yeah, I got it set on mid compression right now. I don't know. I'm gonna have to. not sure what the fine adjustment for that is yet, over.
Well, what it would be like a third of its capabilities. Now, you're not running the internal radio compressor, Roger?
The internal radio compressor, Roger.
That's affirmative. I'm running the internal radio compressor, and it's going in the amplifier there. It's on mid-compression.
Oh, okay, so you do not have an external compressor, Roger? You just have the internal compressor?
Roger, you just have the internal compressor?
That's affirmative.
Okay, and the input select for that, does it have like a control that you can dial it in, like like a volume control, or how do you select the amount of compression?
Select the amount of compression.
I think it has mid, low, and high compression. Now let me take a check here.
Yeah, I think I would go for a low.
Okay, there's
mid, narrow, and wide, over.
Okay, we're talking about bandpass. If you're talking about bandpass, you need to be in 100 to 2900. I strongly suggest that you operate that radio in the 100 to 2900 bandpass. A lot of times we'll put that frequency, that bandpass, in. If you have three different selections, we put them all at 100 to 2900, so it stays right there, Roger.
there, Roger.
Roger, 100 to 2900 bandpass. I'll have to check. I'll have to find the setting for it. There's a lot of settings here. When I hit the main menu on this, it goes to a lot of different things here. So I'll have to hunt it down.
Roger that. Roger that. Well, let me give you some notes there, and you can work on it at your leisure, finding stuff. That compressor engages the compressor, and we only want to run it at about a third of its capability, so that would be 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100. If you have like a volume control, it would be kind of like at the 10 o'clock position, 10:30 position, somewhere in there. Just a token amount of compression will do it. So after you get that compressor engaged, then with your mic gain in hand, go to your ALC and while speaking in a natural tone of voice, adjust your mic gain to where your ALC meter is running mid-scale to 2/3. Just bring that mic gain up or down, whatever it takes, so your ALC meter is running mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
Mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
Roger that. I found the adjustment here. It's 300 to 2700 on mid-range. Over.
Yeah, you don't want that. You want 100 to 2900, and you want to do that all the time. So take all of your readings and put them 100 to 2900, so you stay right in that bandpass. Roger.
That bandpass. Roger.
That's affirmative. I'll switch to wide.
Now, how wide is wide?
Now, how wide is wide?
Just exactly what you said there.
Okay, yes, okay, great. Because what happens is when you choose lesser bandpass, what you're doing is you're knocking your top-end syllabic range right off. You're knocking the top-end articulation right off that radio by restricting the bandpass. So you want to run that radio at 100 to 2900. That will give you the best, most articulated possibility of top-end articulation. And then if you're a little heavy on the bottom end at the 100 to 2900, you can roll that off through EQ. Roger?
EQ. Roger?
Roger that. It's set to that right now. How do you copy? Over?
Looking good there. You're on 100 to 2900. Roger?
100 to 2900. Roger?
That's affirmative. 100 to 2900 hertz.
Alrighty, and so we're still mystified by the compressor, Roger.
The compressor, Roger.
Yeah, it's basically that's what wide compression is set to. Over.
Well, it's wide band pass, but who knows what the input level to the compressor is. You need to find the input level to the compressor and adjust that for just 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100, just a third of its capabilities. Then once you get that in there, go to your ALC and with mic gain in hand and adjust your mic gain to where your ALC meter is running mid-scale to 2/3. That's important because that sets up the your dynamic range. Roger.
Your dynamic range, Roger.
Roger, I got my gain set at 35%. I'm going to back it down a little bit. Over.
Look at your ALC. It doesn't matter what your mic gain says it is. It's only what it is in relationship to your ALC. That's where you adjust your mic gain to where your ALC is reading correctly. Mid-scale to 2/3. Roger.
Scale to 2/3, Roger.
Affirmative. It's still a little bit high.
Okay, Ron. Why don't we do this? Why don't we just turn the compressor off? If you can just turn the compressor off, I think for right now that would be the best thing to do.
That would be the best thing to do.
Okay, the compressor's off right now. Over.
Roger, you're looking good. All right, come back dead key for 3 seconds, Roger.
Key for 3 seconds, Roger.
There's 3 seconds.
All right, still got something in there that's compressing. You sure you have your radio compressor off, Roger? And what about the mic? Does it have a built-in compressor on the mic?
A built-in compressor on the mic?
A compressor mic. It's got phantom power set up on it. Over.
Roger. So you have what kind of control do you have over the mic?
Over the mic.
Foot pedal.
For
key, but what do you have any compression controls on the mic?
Controls on the mic?
Negative. It's a compressor mic, 45 volts, phantom power, and it goes into a phantom power unit and then into the radio. Over.
Roger. Well, I guess we're about done. What we can do, it's just sounding like you're still compressing, even though you've got the internal compressor off. So that you don't need the internal compressor if the mic is compressing within itself. Roger.
Within itself, Roger.
Okay, that's affirmative. I'll try running it without then. That's probably better. And you know what? The ALC looks a little bit better too, for that matter. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, sometimes too much of a good thing is not a good thing. Well, anyway, Ron, let me say threes to you, sir. Thanks for checking in. And if you want to hear our discussions and manipulations recorded on tape or electronically digitized, whatever, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. Right now we have about 1,000 recorded QSO-VLOGs. This one that you'll be looking for is called My Group Aircheck 31320. My Group Aircheck 31320, and it will take us a couple of days to get that uploaded. Roger?
Uploaded, Roger.
That's affirmative. I'll check it out. KC9 Victor Kilo Victor. This is KC8IQS.
Roger, sir. Three's that way. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This, under whatever conditions that may be prevailing medically, historically, coronavirus-wise. So I think most everything is closed, it seems like, and I think that's probably a wise decision, at least for the next 3 weeks, and try to figure out what's going on here, and make sure that we are trying to minimize the negative possibilities. This is KC9VKV, the QSO-VLOG net. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Give me a shout.
X-ray Foxtrot.
X-ray Foxtrot. Come back with the call sign again, please.
Kilo Delta Niner, Delta X-ray Foxtrot.
Roger there, and what's the name?
Name is John, and I'm in southern Illinois, very close to St. Louis. I have a 7300, and within the last week I got a ELECTRET KPA 500 amp. I'm doing about 400 out of it.
Roger, Roger. Now you have a very good RF signal. What we want to do is maybe fatten up the audio. You say you're running a 7300?
That is correct.
Okay, so we want to engage the compressor at a 3. Turn that compressor on, and at a 3 level. Roger, Roger.
Roger, now to 3.
Okay, then go to your ALC with mic gain in hand and adjust your mic gain to where your ALC meter reading is mid-scale to 2/3. Adjust your mic level to where your ALC meter is running mid-scale to 2/3.
Okay, mic scale now is probably a little hot. Right now it's running right about 2/3.
All right, all right. Now, come back and tell me about your antenna system.
Mine's kind of basic. I have a Hustler 6 BTV in the backyard with the 12 and 17 meter add-ons from DX Engineering, and I have about 40 radials planted through the grass.
Roger, Roger, John. Now, I have an exercise that you might like. What we do is we take our watt meter and we put it in PEP, and that watt meter should be in a place where you can see it as you're talking. Now, the game is, as you're talking, you want to keep that meter reading in the sweet spot. You know where it is on the meter, and so that's where exactly we want to keep it. And we can keep it there through the tempo of our speech and also the consistency of our amplitude of the modulation of our voice. So between those two things, we're going to try to keep that watt meter reading in the sweet spot in the PEP position. Roger?
I understand. I'm looking at the meter on the ELECTRET, and it's running around 440 right now.
Roger, Roger. So we want to keep that meter just hung right there at that wattage. So, you know, and that's a combination of the rate of speech and the consistency of our peaks of our voice. Roger?
Understand. So I want to stay around 400 to 440 in that range.
Exactly, and that's going to take a little practice, and then pretty soon it'll be second nature. But that way you will have the one of the fattest signals going. Roger.
Roger. I've read a lot on this and know it's kind of an, or not kind of, it is an art.
Roger, and it's you know, I spent 50 years in broadcasting looking at VU meters. I can tell where a VU meter's going even before it leaves the resting place on the left-hand side, just by the velocity of the meter. You know, after you work one for 50 years, it's you know, kind of second nature. So I do look at mine now, and you know, and I also look at yours, Roger.
Yes, I understand. It helps to have someone who's got a lot more experience, and I've been in this ham radio game for like 2 years. Roger
that. Now, the mic you're using is what?
I have a Heil Pro headset.
Okay, you said headset?
That's affirmative.
Okay, because I did hear some little marinations of close mic proximity, and I was going to suggest that maybe you use a windscreen, a foam windscreen. You know, there's nothing against the regulations of putting two windscreens, one over the other. Roger?
I may have to try to put something over or play with mic position also.
Yeah, sometimes if you can pull that mic out about 2 inches further than what it is, and then, when you do that, that will reduce your transient garbage, so to speak, but then you need to go back and reset your AOC level. Always, whenever you make any adjustment, go back and double check your AOC to be sure that it's running exactly mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
All right, I'll do that, and I'm going to crank up the mic gain a little bit right now and see what happens. There, we're running, 50, 60% on the mic gain.
Roger. Yeah, and maybe you might, instead of putting that mic right in front of your mouth, maybe moving it more to the side and try that. And let me hear that and adjust your, again, check your ALC reading.
Okay, mic is somewhat off to the side, and we're running ALC around 60% now. I had to crank the mic gain up a bit.
Roger. Yeah, try that for a while. It probably would be better for plosives if it were off to the side there. But so let me say threes to you, and I appreciate the comeback there. That you'll love that 7300.
I've had it about a year and a half, and I still find things I didn't know it could do that.
Roger. I only know that radio. Well, I know that radio. But I had my ELMER. Got me a 7300 to check out for almost 2 months, and so I ran it in the receive mode most of that time, and bypassing all of the features because I really want for folks to be able to hear exactly what their radio sounds like. So I did bypass on the noise reduction, bypass on the 2 or 3 things, a bypass on the RF gain, so it's I consider that like antenna attenuate, and I run my other radios and attenuate because to avoid any overload, and a reduced RF level because not to get bandpass suck up between words, because we are copying the male and sideband. And the thing is, if you have your RF gain turned up, you have all of this noise trying to suck up between the words, and that's noise that you're introducing because your RF gain is much over, and so we do pull that down to where, if a person speaking and they be quiet, there is no suck up. It's just, whatever the bandpass noise is at the moment.
Yes, understand. I know it's a lot of art to this.
Roger that. And you can go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. That will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. We're running right at 1,000 recorded QSOs at the moment, but you'll be looking for one called My Group Aircheck 31320. Today's date, My Group Aircheck 31320. Roger.
I will go to YouTube and look it up, and thank you very much. 73.
Roger, and that'll give us a couple of days to get it up there. We definitely will have it by then. Sometimes, a lot of times, it is earlier than that, but, it's just nice to, if the world falls apart and, all things are happening, it's we need maybe sometimes 2 days to get it there. So we'll say threes for now, John, and thanks for checking in, Roger.
And 73 to you.
Victor Alpha 3, Victor Mike Delta.
Victor Mike Delta, come back with the call sign again, please.
Oh, Jim, you should know me by now. It's your good friend in Toronto, Vito. Victor America 3, Victor Mike Delta.
Roger. Well, Vito, what's happening?
How you doing, my good friend? Always lending a helping hand. How are you this afternoon across the border there? Everything going okay?
Well, I think so. All things considered, you're the first transmission that I've actually received on my local antenna. I'm running that no SWR dipole. I'm not running my 7300 anymore. I had to turn that back in, but I'm going to be writing a dissertation on the 7300, an observations kind of thing about running the 7300 to transmit and receive. Roger.
Yeah, Roger. So if you're not running the 7300, what is it that you're running?
Well, right now I'm running our standard FT990, Roger.
Oh, yeah, great audio. You got that thing dialed in. Here, let me give you our audio report. Great signal, great audio, 5.9 into Toronto. I wouldn't ask for anything better on the scope. Jim, I'll throw it a little bit your way here. There you go. A little taste of your medicine there, Roger.
Oh, roger that, sir.
Anyway, listen, I just wanted to jump in there and say good afternoon. Doing a bang-up job like you usually do, and hopefully in a couple of weeks everything will be a little bit back to normal and we can all do our business. So thank you for doing what you do there, Jim. Always a pleasure to hear your voice north of the border here, Roger.
Roger Vito, thanks for coming back and saying hello. Always a pleasure to talk to my friends up that way. And you have a real good afternoon, great weekend, Roger.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jim. Very good. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Great job. And like I said, always willing to give a helping hand out there and doing a bang-up job doing it, Jim. Always a pleasure from your friend up here in Canada, VA3BMD. Have a great weekend, buddy, and you stay safe.
Roger Vito, audio looks really good on the spectrum analyzer. And the level looks, like always fat. And you go to YouTube and check it out. Three's that way, sir. Sounding great. This is KC9VKV and the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
K9 Charlie Echo Golf.
K9 Charlie Echo Golf, go.
Okay, yeah, Roger, good morning. Good afternoon. My name is Chris. Roger, good morning. Chris, Charlie Hotel Romeo India Sierra.
Located in Campbellsport, Wisconsin, and running a Yaesu FTDX 3000, about 500 watts into a resonant vertical, over.
Oh, Roger. Well, I'm copying you a bunch of different places. You were good in Rochester. You were good in Milford. So I'm copying right now on the Milford SDR. Roger.
Milford SDR. Roger. Oh, okay. Yeah, real good. I heard you guys talking, and I never checked in here. So I did what actually.
Roger, just running the band. What kind of antenna are you running, sir?
What kind of antenna are you running, sir? I'm running a resonant vertical antenna.
A resonant vertical antenna. Well, how tall is that vertical antenna?
Tall is that vertical antenna? You know, actually, to get exact measurement, I thought it's like 36 feet, but I don't remember anymore. And then I got probably 60-foot radials around it.
60 radios or 60 feet radios?
60 feet radios. 60 radials, 60 feet long.
All right. You almost are in the radio planting business, Roger.
Planting business, Roger. Yeah, the antenna works very good. I have no qualms about it at all. I also have a 40-meter dipole up at about 30 feet, but and I tell you, I always on this band, I always fall back and rely on this vertical.
Roger. Now I want to tell you what is dire straits. Dire straits is when you look to where your coffee should be, and it is 3 desks down the way off the set. I am faced with a dilemma. I need 10 seconds. Tell me in 10 seconds the best thing you like about your radio.
You like about your radio? Oh, I don't know. I never really thought about it that much. I don't really have a real answer for you. I like I have an external broadcaster on it for the band scope, and I'm really an ICOM guy. I have a couple other ICOMs here, but for this band and a couple other bands, I use this Yaesu FTDX 3000. So there you have it.
Well, you did a masterful job of You did a good job of taking the space while I went and got my coffee. Just excellent. Good on you. And your signal, what I want to try to do is see if I can copy you on my local antenna, Roger.
Yeah, local antenna, Roger. Yeah, okay.
My name is Chris, and I'm located in Campbellsport, Wisconsin. That's
Fort, Wisconsin. That's I don't know. You know the area. It's probably about 50 miles north of Milwaukee or so. And there you go. I don't. You're about S9 into my station here. I don't know what I am by you, or if you can maybe come back and just do a little audio report for me. I'd appreciate it.
Roger, Roger. Well, gosh, you're doing great on the Milford, PA, and I'm copying you 9 over on the Milford, PA, and your audio sounds good. What's the name there again?
Sounds good. What's the name there again? My name is Chris, Charlie Hotel Romeo, India, Sierra.
Roger, Chris. Well, listen, I appreciate you checking in, sir. And if you want to hear what your radio sounds like, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. And on that page, you'll be looking for a QSO-VLOG entitled My Group Aircheck 31320. Hopefully, it will be on page 1. Again, the entity is called My Group Aircheck 31320. Roger?
1320. Roger? Okay, yep, real good. All right, well, I'll let you get back at it. And thanks for coming back to me. Take care. 73 for now. K9 Charlie Echo Golf.
Roger, Chris. 3 set wait, sir. Have a great afternoon. Beautiful weekend. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, the QSO-VLOG network. And if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Want to check out? Give me a shout.
KC9VKV.
November 8 Zulu Bravo Alpha.
Zulu Bravo Alpha. Come back with a call sign again.
Come back with a call sign again. The call is November 8 Zulu Bravo Alpha N8 ZBA.
Roger, Roger. And what's the name there, sir?
Roger, Roger. And what's the name there, sir? The name here is Dan, Delta Alpha November.
Roger, Dan. And whereabouts are you, sir?
Roger, Dan. And whereabouts are you, sir? I'm about 65 miles north of Detroit in Greenwood, Michigan, right here at the bottom of the thumb.
Roger. Well, you're doing, I'm copying you on the Milford, PA SDR, and you're like about 12 over there, Roger.
All right, real good, real good. I've got you about 18 to 20 over S9, and I'm working with a ICOM 7300 QSO.
Oh, Roger, Roger. Yeah, just when I got rid of or just finished with the Milford, PA, it kicked me off, and I went to Rochester, and you're just banging in there too. So you got some great signals going on, Roger.
You got some great signals going on, Roger. All right, fine business, fine business. Well, I won't hold it. I just was going through the band, and I heard your big, beautiful signal, and I just wanted to take the opportunity and make the contact. QSO?
Roger, Dan. And you said you're running the 7300?
Roger, Dan. Then you said you're running the 7300? Yes, sir. 7300 into a homebrew amplifier, and the antenna is a 160-meter full-wave loop, and I've got 2 of them. This one's sitting in the front yard. QSO?
Oh, Roger. Now, tell me about your homebrew amp.
Oh, Roger. Now, tell me about your homebrew amp. This one right here, it has a pair of 3-500Zs in it, and I purchased it probably, going on almost 20 years ago.
Roger, so you've been restoring it along the way, Roger.
Well, no, this one I bought already purchased. We have quite a collection of gear over here, and a lot of it's homebrew. Some things we tinker with, and other projects we've bought along the way.
Oh, Roger. Well, nothing better than options. You know, that's the whole name of the game. Options, Roger.
That's the whole name of the game. Options, Roger. No, it truly is. It truly is. And that way, if you wanna redesign something or change something around you, you've got the capability and the opportunity to do it.
Roger. Okay, Dan, let me say threes to you, sir. And again, if you want to check out your audio, we are recording now from 3:30 till 5. And if you want to check out your audio, go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV. And that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. Right now, we're running just at 1,000 recorded QSO-VLOGs. You'll be looking for one in specific, which is my group Aircheck 31320. Should be on page 1. My group Aircheck 31320. Roger.
31320. Roger.
All right, fine business. Well, I really appreciate you offering up that service, and I'm going to check that out a little bit later. So thank you. Have a great evening. I hope you make many more contacts and have a great weekend also. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor from November 8 Zulu Bravo Alpha NACBA Dan in Greenwood.
Roger, Roger, Dan. Might consider just a couple of more clicks of top-end EQ. Just 2 clicks more top-end treble EQ would give you just a little bit more articulation in your audio, which is so necessary when we get in really noisy situations, you know. The better we can hear somebody, the more articulated their audio, the easier it is to hear them even under heavy noise conditions. So we'll say threes, Dan. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. If you get a chance, check back with us next Friday afternoon, where we do it again from 3:30 till 5. Threes to you. This is KC9VKV, the QSO-VLOG network. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give us a shout.
Got a radio you want to check out? Give us a shout.
Whiskey Yankee 8 Golf, Whiskey Yankee 8 Golf, Echo.
There's a Yankee 4 station. Yankee 4 station. Come back with a call, sign again.
Yankee 4 station. Yankee 4 station. Come back with a call, sign again.
There is a Yankee 4 paging Yankee 4.
There is a Yankee 4 paging Yankee 4.
I was Whiskey Yankee 8 Golf, Whiskey Yankee 8 Golf.
Close enough, close enough. You read my mind.
Close enough, close enough. You read my mind.
Whiskey Yankee 8 Golf. What's the name there?
Whiskey Yankee 8 Golf. What's the name there?
Yeah, Whiskey Yankee 8 Golf here. Her name is Bruce. Bravo Romeo Uniform Charlie Echo. About 40 miles north of Columbus, Ohio. Just checking around here and heard you and thought I'd give it a whirl. KC9 Victor Whiskey Yankee 8 Golf.
Roger, Roger, Bruce. What radio are you running today, sir?
Roger, Roger, Bruce. What radio are you running today, sir?
For a month or so now, I've had the brand new P3S ELECTRET going, trying to get used to it, and all the bells and whistles, feeding you through a high-end fed antenna, 80 through 10. I think she's, what is that thing, 123 feet long or so, off the back deck to the top of the tower. Go ahead.
Well, we have a little mischief interference going on there this afternoon. I thought we had outgrown that, but apparently not, Bruce. You know what I mean?
Apparently not, Bruce. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You don't really want to talk about it and give them any attention, but I haven't heard any of it yet. I don't know if it's closer to you or what, but yeah, sometimes we get those. But trying to get everything you're saying here and writing it down and get on YouTube and see what everything sounds like. Hopefully the radio's doing good here. And you say you're in PA, Whiskey Yankee 8 Golf. Back to you.
I am actually just across the river from Louisville, Kentucky. I'm on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville, Kentucky. Roger.
Right at Louisville, Kentucky. Roger.
Okay, maybe I was hearing somebody else. KC9 Victor, Kilo Victor from WAG. Okay, yeah, you're sounding good up this way. I got you. You're bumping up 20 over sometimes, and I'm not hearing every band. A little bit noisy in places, but not too bad. Like I said, just trying to figure out all the bells and whistles on this K3S, and hopefully she sounds good, and Just keep looking for reports. KC9 Victor Kilo Victor, WY8G.
Roger. And the radio was a K3S, is that a Roger?
Roger. And the radio was a K3S, is that a Roger?
That's a Roger.
Sounds mighty good. And that antenna's doing you a great job, too. How much power are you running?
Antenna's doing you a great job, too. How much power are you running?
100 watts, 100 watts. She'll go up to 110, but I got her sitting at 100 watts right now.
Oh, doing great. Yeah, doing great. Yep, no problem. Like I say, you're looking to be about 10 over on the Rochester SDR. And if you want to hear your radio, what it sounds like, you can go to YouTube. We have a recording now live till 5. If you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. We're running right now right at 1,000 recorded QSO-VLOGs. You'll be looking for one in specific, which is called Microgroup Aircheck 31320. Microgroup Aircheck 31320, Roger.
Microgroup Aircheck 31320, Roger.
Roger. Say that, how soon would that be?
We usually do, say, a couple of days, you know. We're a lot of times sooner than that, but we do say, within a couple of days, Roger.
We do say, within a couple of days, Roger.
Okay, maybe starting Sunday or Monday I'll do that and see what everything sounds like, and appreciate what you're doing. KC9 Victor Kilo Victor from Whiskey Yankee 8 Golf.
Roger, Bruce. Now, QRMer, you don't know me and I don't know you, but you've decided I've done something to you for which you're going to make me pay through your QRM attack. But just ask yourself, why? Listen, would you walk down the street and hit the first guy that comes along for no reason? Would that make any sense? What did he do to you to deserve that attack? QRMing is the same thing. An unprovoked attack on someone you don't know for a reason you don't know. Now, my brother, recognize the situation. Try to think about what you're doing. You've developed a bad habit of walking down the street and sucker punching the first guy that comes along for no reason. Does that make any sense? Rise up. Let the past die in the past. Step up to a new you, a stronger you, a better you. You deserve a nice life. I deserve a nice life. We deserve a nice life. Don't ruin it for both of us, for no reason.
Ruin it for both of us, for no reason.
Kilowatt November 4, Japan,
Echo station, go.
KC9VKV.
Echo station, go.
Yes, Kilowatt November 4, Japan, Echo. Yeah, I've been listening to your conversation, and I agree with you 100%, and I just thought I'd get hell, over.
Oh, roger that. What's the call sign again?
Oh, roger that. What's the call sign again?
Kilowatt November 4, Juliet, Echo. Kilowatt November 4, Juliet, Echo. In Massillon, Virginia, over.
Kilowatt November 4, Juliet, Charlie, that a Roger?
Juliet, Charlie, that a Roger?
Juliet, Echo. Juliet, Echo.
Well, now, C, a C is just an E, the beginning of an E. I forgot to put the other part on there, Roger.
Beginning of an E. I forgot to put the other part on there, Roger.
Roger. Kilowatt November 4, Japan, Echo.
Oh, in honor of our QRM attack today, I call this one Ode to QRMer. Here's a thought to consider for my QRMer. What if I were you and you were I? Listen to me, brother, at least try. You don't know me, but yet you attack me. I've done nothing to you, so why do you think you need to attack me, to blame me for the attack? But you, I must represent something you distaste, but what could that be? Do my words cause you hate? Does my voice cause you pain? Think about it, brother. It's not me, it's your rage that's to blame. You just get yourself under control, because it's me you attack today. Who will it be tomorrow? Some kid in the park? Yes, that would be your style. Attack some kid in the park in the dark, because it doesn't matter to you, just anyone will do. Your rage and hate will seal your fate. You know, I would seek help if I were you.
If I were you. You're encouraging, Jim. KF4YTV.
Hello, Ed. Well, I do the best I can, sir. You know, he ticks me off, so I'll just give it back to him. You know, there's something just pathetically wrong with an individual that QRMs, because, you know, they're reaching out for contact and communication, but they don't know how. So they feel like they must, destroy other people's communications because they lack the ability to do it themselves.
They lack the ability to do it themselves. Yeah, I know it takes all kinds, but I know if you don't respond to them, they get bored and leave.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. Nobody responds to them, and so then they just come back tomorrow. What I'm trying to get the guy to do is think about the stupidity of QRMing. You know, he's by now it's a form of habit, and he's not even thinking about what he's doing. So I want him to really think about what he's doing as a QRMer.
About what he's doing as a QRMer. An act of God. Good luck with that with GFK 14.
Yeah. Anyway, what's happening, Ed?
Nothing. I guess we just wait for a QRMer to get struck by a blinding light, change his name from Saul to Paul.
Yeah, Roger. Well, whatever. You're sounding mighty good, Ed.
Whatever. You're sounding mighty good, Ed. Yeah, I've done a little work on this radio. I think I got it right where I need it. And you sound good, too. Hopefully you don't need I'm getting you on your local antenna.
I haven't even considered that. I was on the Rochester. Come back and let me see what you're doing on my local antenna.
Let me see what I'm doing on you're doing on my local antenna. All right, you're... Delay?
Yeah, hang on just a second here. Very strange. I haven't copied anything on my local antenna all day. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe,
I don't know. I'm glad I got the SDRs, but I wouldn't be talking to nobody today.
Huh.
Anyway, Alabama is thoroughly represented on the Rochester and the Milford PASDRs, Roger.
Roger. I'll let you get back to your sound check and keep up the good work, Jim. And I'm looking forward to reading your expose on the 7300.
Yes, sir. I shall do that. Probably with this QSO-VLOG, it will be in the description part. We usually do about 500 words, so we'll be doing a little dissertation this time on the 7300. Interesting radio for sure, and it is the radio of the century. 3's to you, Ed. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. Got 5 till 5 minutes, and we turn into a pumpkin. So if you've got a radio that you want to check out, give me a shout.
Alpha Bravo 5, Uniform Bravo.
Now I'm copying just a little bit of the Uniform Bravo station. Come back with the whole call sign.
Bravo station, come back with the whole call sign.
Thank you. Whiskey Bravo 4, Uniform Bravo Golf, QTH, Duluth, Georgia, suburb of Atlanta, over.
Roger, and what's the name there?
Alpha Bravo.
What's the name there?
The handle's Mike as in microphone, and we live in Duluth, Georgia. I'm a school teacher, and I have the day off.
Roger. Now, is that one of those 3 weekdays off because of the coronavirus?
3 weekdays off because of the coronavirus?
Oh, that's a very good question, Jim. We're going week to week, and it's digital learning. We've got our lesson plan program loaded and ready
of this coronavirus issue that's really running rampant, but hopefully it'll bottom out, flatten out soon. So hopefully we won't miss more than 1 week of school because I don't like to be out of the classroom for very long. And could you give me a quick comment on my signal? This is a fairly new radio. It's a Fox Tango 991 Alpha, over.
Roger, Mike, gosh, audio looks beautiful. Nice EQ curve. Got plenty of intelligibility there, and your dynamic range is really fat, like 2.5 to 3 dB dynamic range. So I think it's pretty much close to perfect. I wish I had just a little bit better coffee on you, but I think right now I probably got close enough, Roger.
Better coffee on you, but I think right now I probably got close enough, Roger.
Okay, thank you, Jim. I'm pushing 80 watts out of the box. 80 watts. It's barefoot here. And I've got a homebrew antenna, just 2 wires with a balun in the middle there. And she's only about 60 feet off the ground. That's the best I can do right now. So that's it. Over.
Roger, well, you're definitely doing the best you can with what you got to work with, and Mother Nature. Of course, Mother Nature is the deciding factor. If she decides you're not going to talk, even if you got a neighbor, 2 blocks down the road, you're going to have to get a relay from Syracuse.
Blocks down the road, you're going to have to get a relay from Syracuse.
Yeah, what I was thinking, Jim, was maybe just 2 cups and some string. Anyway, 73, and thank you very much for being there. Love the service, and you have an excellent signal in here. You're knocking the meter all to heck here. So thank you very much. It's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, and this is Whiskey Bravo 4, Uniform Bravo Go.
Roger, Mike. 3 is that way, sir. You have a real great afternoon, a beautiful weekend. And if you get a chance, come back by and join us next Friday as we go again from 3:30 till 5, record live all the time, and then post it up on YouTube. And if you want to hear what your radio sounds like, Mike, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG network, our QSO-VLOG page, and on that page you'll be looking for an entity called My Group Aircheck 31320, and usually they will wind up putting that on page 1, so look for it on page 1. If it's not on page 1, it definitely will be on page 2. My Group Aircheck 31320. And this is KC9VKV. We've got time for one more QSO-VLOG. If you want to hear what your radio sounds like, give me a shout.
VLOG, if you want to hear what your radio sounds like, give me a shout.
Kilowatt November 4, Japan Echo Echo, KC9VKV.
Kilowatt November 4, come back with a call sign all over.
Kilowatt November 4, come back with a call sign all over.
Kilowatt November 4, Japan Echo Echo, coming back to you. We got interrupted.
Roger. Well, how are we doing now? I'm copying you a little bit better.
Sure. Well, how are we doing now? I'm copying you a little bit better.
Roger. This is a new radio to me anyway. It's ICOM 706 MK2 on a 100-foot in. Over.
Roger that. Give me that radio one more time.
Roger that. Give me that radio one more time.
It's an ICOM 706 MK2. The ICOM 706 MK2. And it's on a 100-foot in-bed long wire antenna. Over.
Roger, I'm copying you on the Milford PA at about 8 over their noise level. About 8 over their noise level and double on the Milford PA, Roger.
About 8 over their noise level and double on the Milford PA, Roger.
Roger. I'm only running 100 watts, so I'm not putting a whole lot of power over.
Roger, and what's the name there again, please?
Roger, and what's the name there again, please?
The name is George.
Roger, George, we're sounding mighty good. That radio's doing you a great job, Roger.
Roger, George, we're sounding mighty good. That radio's doing you a great job, Roger.
Roger. I just wanted to report, and I'm going to go and try to see if I can listen to your file there and see what it sounded like.
Roger, George. Well, it'll take us a couple of days to upload this QSO-VLOG, but this QSO-VLOG is called My Group Aircheck 31320, which is today's date, My Group Aircheck 31320, and we'll probably be able to upload this within the next couple of days. It'll probably be a lot sooner than that, but we do give ourselves a little grace period there, Roger.
Well, ourselves a little grace period there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Well, I appreciate the time, and I agree with the comments. So, give me great.
Roger, George. 3's to you, sir. Have yourself a great afternoon. And that's going to wrap it up for us. This has been, since 3:30, the KC9VKV QSO-VLOG network. We've enjoyed it. Hope you have too. And if you want to hear, if you participated and want to hear what your radio sounds like, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page, and you'll be looking for an entity called My Group Aircheck 31320. My Group Aircheck 31320. So that'll wrap it up for us. We've enjoyed it. Hope you have. And so we'll be returning the page to normal amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV Clear.